we have to constantly defend and be vigilant about all rights because they can be taken away. And that's why it's important to vote and elect people who will protect your rights and appoint good judges.
Malissa Burnette sees the importance of the right to vote in her daily work. She has fought for social justice as an attorney for more than 40 years. This passion started early. As a teenager, she stood up to the Ku Klux Klan at a truck stop where she was a waitress. The year was 1968.
And one day, a black trucker came in and sat at the counter. And I was working there that day, and I thought to myself, he looks hungry. So I took his order and served him. Everybody in the place was quiet. All conversation stopped. Word got out about what I'd done, and the KKK that night put up rally posters all over town to have a KKK rally in the county.
And you weren't fearful during this whole period?
I was fearful that they threatened to burn down my grandparents' house where I was staying. I was worried about that, but they didn't do anything after that. It could have been worse. It could have been a bad outcome, but I think what I took away from that at 18 years of age is be yourself and speak out against things that are wrong, and if you're lucky, things can change, and don't be afraid.
Burnette has been a change agent ever since. After graduating from the University of South Carolina with a major in sociology, she became a prison guard to gain some real-life experience.
I also found out that a lot of the women in prison were victims of domestic violence, and I was incensed, and that led me to law school. And I said, I've got to get some education where I can change things.
Then, with a law degree in hand, she went on to litigate landmark cases that have changed laws and lives. Since 1993, she has been a South Carolina Supreme Court certified specialist in labor and employment law. One of the cases she found most interesting was in the mid-1980s.
Tara Bailey's family came to me. She was from Gaffney, and she was in middle school, and she was a football player. And the coach wanted her to play, but after a certain age, the high school league said girls couldn't play football. And she was a really good player.
Burnette, along with the ACLU, challenged that rule to bar young girls from playing football on equal protection grounds under the 14th Amendment.
So now, girls in public school can play contact sports.
Burnette also took the lead on a case involving a young woman who wanted to enter the Citadel,
a state-funded school that was denying education to young women whose family were paying taxes to fund this state school.
She saw that case through until finally a VMI case was decided in Virginia, and that cleared the way for South Carolina. The Citadel has been coeducational ever since.
Another case, of course, was the marriage equality case that we handled in 2014, and South Carolina was not the last state in the Union to get marriage equality, not even the last state in the South, because we achieved that in 2014, and it was affirmed in the summer of 2015 in Obergefell versus Hodges at the Supreme Court.
Burnette learned about equality early on from her grandfather as a child growing up in a small town in North Carolina.
We'd go to poor black families' homes, and he would take clothing and so forth. And not everybody would do that in the 1950s. He treated everyone like family, and he was generous and kind to everyone.
And now she is a mentor herself. What is her advice for a young person today?
Find out what your dream is. Aim for that, but know that you might have to do a lot of other things first. And it's not a straight line. You might zigzag until you get there. But those are just life experiences, and you build on it. And don't forget to take those opportunities and try different things, because it will just enrich your life. But keep that dream out in front of you. But don't forget to learn from all these other things that pull you aside.